Albert, he said, there ain't no nigger going to school here. And I said to him, Herman, you own that town, and I don't know whether they are or not, but if they show up, they're going. So one day, 2 little black kids had the whole school. All the kids left and the teachers left, but the little black kids were in school. That was my job. It was the law. At the same time, Wallace was standing at the front door in Alabama. Faubus was telling them they couldn't go to school in Arkansas. And we handled that about, I think the record will show, we handled the integration of schools with about as little trouble. Nobody was killed, and with about as little trouble as any state handled it in the United States. And I'm not running for anything. I'm just reciting to you now what happened, you understand? I'm not running from anything either, but...
Governor, it's a pleasure to have a candidate for the presidency on our program this afternoon, but I'm curious to know just how serious are your intentions, sir?
Once I set my hand to the plow, I keep plowing until I get to the end of the furrow and then turn a furrow.
In '56, Happy made a run for the White House. He went off to the Democratic Convention in Chicago, where he received votes in 8 states on the first ballot. The party passed over the old handshaking stump speaker and gave the nod to Urbane Adlai Stevenson. Happy gave it another try in '60. Near the end of his career, he found the competition getting younger and younger.
Satchel Paige said it best of all. He said, don't look back, they may be gaining on you. And I always knew that the youngsters would come along. Everybody knows that. If they don't, they're dumb, you know. And I knew there were fellows who wanted my job. I had some good jobs, you know. And there's always somebody that wants your job, especially if it's a good one. That never dismayed me or never bothered me. It didn't interfere with I just tried to keep ahead of them, you understand. And the record will show that I did it fairly well for a number of years.
Unquestionably, the style of appeal had changed. Chandler's greatest appeal was when he was in the flesh and had a great audience around him and could appeal to that audience directly. He had a monumental memory. He was able to ask them about their grandparents and make other personal comments that just made him unbeatable on the stump.
Over the years, Happy made several unsuccessful attempts to regain the governorship. His last race was in 1971. George Vesey covered the campaign.
I think he knew he didn't have a chance to win, but of course he did it bravely. He went around in a van, one of these mobile vans with My Old Kentucky Home blaring from the loudspeaker and bells ringing. It was sort of a chance for him to go around the countryside as a last hurrah and say goodbye to his people. Well, I remember going to this little, it may have even been originally a bootlegger's paradise. Now it was like a little bar and grill out in the middle of nowhere, out in the back of Bourbon County or somewhere. And this little old black lady, must have been about 80 years old, came out of this place, and I don't know if she'd been primed to be there or what, but she like suddenly materialized, and in this great, beautiful voice of hers, she said, "Oh, Governor Chandler, it's so nice to see you again. You were always so good to me." And he said, "Well, Mary, I know you voted for me every time, and you were always here for me, Mary." And it was a great feeling that the two of them had, that they understood each other. They'd been through all these times. I mean, he went back to a time of, they both went back to a time of segregation, and people were generally affectionate of him. I mean, whether they thought he could win or not, they were thanking him for what he had meant to the Commonwealth so many years before.
Hey, nobody thinks sweeter than a baby girl. They didn't send it here. Send it someplace else. I'm an open scout for baby girl.
It's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming down.
Nice to be here. Oh, very nice. Thank you.
You remember L.B. Barton? You remember L.B. Barton?
Nicholas County.
Yeah, I'm his daughter.
Oh, my Lord, he was one of my most beloved friends.
He thought a lot of you.
Nicholas County. Well, he was salt of the earth.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to see you. Partner, take care. I'm the only governor that's been elected in anybody's lifetime that went home after he got through. All the rest of them went someplace else. Well, hell, I came back here. That's where I came from.
I would like to thank the many people who helped make these historic tapes possible. Historians, elected officials, businesses, Store Cable with their equipment, the many other studios across the state, local newspapers, daily newspapers that helped us in this effort. In particular, Miss June Guyman, who traveled some 42,000 miles across the Commonwealth of Kentucky with me, filming these historic tapes. Now we'd like for you to enjoy the history of Kentucky, county by county, as we enjoyed making the history come true for you. Oh, Kentucky, Kentucky County, a place to work and play. Oh, Kentucky, Kentucky County, a place I want to stay. Its far north gate and southern trails came Walker Boone and Kenton too. Kentucky, she is calling, a place of history. Oh, Kentucky, Kentucky County, a place to work and play. Oh, Kentucky, Kentucky County, a place I want to stay.